Ladies and gentlemen, people of this here United States, and all the dogs and cats that were not ingested by Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio, along with our 30, you hear that? 30
Yeah.
subscribers. Welcome to the Dad Religion Podcast. I'm Jason. That is Jim. How you
Howdy,
doing?
y'all. I'm doing well, brother. How you doing today?
I'm tired. As you can see from these baggage underneath my eyes, I got up really early, trying to get rid of my my manly body, trying to cut down. Went and worked out a little bit. Did a 2-mile jog / walk, and now I'm here. Took a shower and ran over here real quick, and here we are.
I didn't stumble in until 1 o'clock last night. We had a gig at Dino's Pub here in La Mesa, which was always fun. But then I get home at 1 o'clock and I'm still wired, so it took me another hour to get to bed. So my time is 8 o'clock, and I'm on about 5.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, that's a typical night for me.
Yeah, I guess. But I usually don't have this much bourbon in my system when I only get 5.5 hours. So I got that little sweat thing going on as well. Yeah. We played yesterday one of those gigs where we started off playing to about 3 or 4 dozen people, and then by the time it was done, there was just 2 dudes in the back, and then the bartenders, and I think there was a guy playing pool by himself. That was it.
So you're an 80s cover band.
Yes, I am.
When are we going to get the 80s punk in there?
We do. What do you mean 80s punk? Last night we did
Dead Kennedys.
Dead
We're not
Kennedys.
talking about the Clash. Please do not bring the Clash into this conversation.
Well,
the Ramones, I guess, but they're.
Let's resolve this really quick. It's not
I don't
punk
think there's
rock.
going to be no resolve.
No, it's not punk rock, because punk rock took time to invent itself, right? But punk rock evolved out of the punk movement, which was more of a protest, social, cultural kind of a situation than it was strictly a music thing. You get what I'm saying? So I agree with you. Blondie is not punk rock. I would not. It's rock and roll, and if you listen to Heart of Glass, it's disco. And the Clash is kind of the same. If you listen to the album London Calling, kind of hard to classify that as a punk rock album because there's so much going on. There's like all
great album, by the way. Great album.
One of my favorite albums of all time.
I guess you're right. I guess in a way, I consider punk hard, fast, and
right.
Yeah.
And that's what punk rock is once it's conceptualized. It's hard, it's fast, it's abrasive, it's hard edge, that whole thing. But I'm not an expert, and the punk aficionados out there are gonna come after me for it probably.
Well, I don't think any of them are watching. But I mean,
we got 30, man. There's going to be at least 2 hardcore punk rockers in our 30 subscribers.
You could do like the Stooges or something from like the New York Dolls.
Misfits.
Misfits, they weren't 70s. They were more 80s, right?
Were they 80s? They weren't?
Yeah. Who else? The Damned. You ever listen to The Damned?
We do 68 Guns.
Okay.
But that's not a punk song. It's not a punk
Germs,
song.
But the Damned were considered.
No, the Germs are a good idea too. You're right. Hey, dude,
a lot of what is that band? Hold on, let me look. You know what? The Buzzcocks.
You're right.
The MC5.
Fuck, I'd love to do the MC5. That'd be fun as fuck.
Can't think of anything else.
There's so many though. There's so many.
Wasn't Black Flag in the 70s?
Yes. The first manifestation of Black Flag was actually, that might be right around the 80s. They're Gen 2, I think, of punk rock.
Yeah. So there's a lot of bands you could do.
We actually, the truth is, we all like punk rock as a genre. There's nobody in the group that doesn't like it. I think that maybe Rob the drummer and Scott the guitar player want to keep it pocketed a little bit with what punk rock we do, because they want to keep our genre, what we do, kind of pocketed in that 80s alternative. So punk rock's cool, because it's the influence. And we could even probably, we've been talking about it, doing maybe some 90s alternative to add in just so you can see the whole progression. But
Oh,
you know,
90s, you'd have a catalog for days.
we would just, I mean, we would really literally probably just do like a medley or something, throw in some Cranberries and some Foo Fighters or something, and then button it up like that.
Yeah, get Michelle. She could probably sing some good Cranberries.
She would crush the Cranberries, man, like big
Ah.
time. Yeah, she would. Yeah, she crushed it last night too. Like she always sounds good because she's a professional musician and a singer songwriter. But last night, because we could all hear so much better, I was able to hear Michelle hearing things for the first time and reacting to them. Like her harmonies last night were like perfect, like, you know, and different, a little different than normal. It's fun to play in a band with people who really know what the fuck they're doing. It's a fun thing because you don't have to, you know, that takes a lot of the pressure off, to be honest.
Did you guys ever end up playing the casino?
No, no. We don't have a demo or anything like that. That's really all it comes down to. God, it's so stupid. Because Frank asked me for like months, like, hey, you know, send me a demo, send me a video or something. And I'm like,
you don't have a video?
We have mixed up little videos taken off of phones and stuff, but nothing. We don't have a database or anything like that, or a place to store all of our videos. So they're just on random people's phones.
You should just record a video of your next show. There it is, done and done.
Well, yeah. And my
cell
daughter,
phones are really good with that now.
Dude, and Bella is a content creator. I mean, Bella's created some content for us, but we've never seen it all the way through and gotten it up onto like our page and stuff like that. We've been pinned at like 500 followers for 4 years. You know, it's like it just hasn't expanded.
Follow you? What's the name of your band again? I'm sorry, I keep forgetting.
Resurrection Radio. That's so funny, dude. I'm in a band called Resurrection Radio.
I'm already following you.
I do a podcast with you that's called Dad Religion. You know, I think I've got some.
The signs are there,
dude. And I own a business called Breaking Bread. It's so funny. And in Resurrection Radio, we are, I think, 4 atheists, 1 agnostic, and then 1 recovering Catholic. So I'm not really sure. Just a reminder, like, so Dad Religion, what Jason and I do here is just really a freewheeling conversation. We don't have notes or anything like that, just an idea of what we're going to talk about. But we're trying to view the world through the perspective of dads. We're both girl dads. And so that's what you're getting. You know, we're just talking about shit and trying to keep it focused through our primary points of view.
Yeah,
so today
yeah, go for it.
Today we're going to try a little something different. We're going to actually validate our fatherhood, and we're going to bring our daughters in, 2 of our daughters. My younger daughter, Sophie, who just graduated from college, she's going to join us for about a 20-minute segment. And Jason's older daughter, Maddy, who's about to start high school, is going to join us for a 20-minute segment. And then we're going to see how that goes. So we're going to have to record this one in a couple of pieces. So this is we're definitely spreading our wings, reaching out, trying new things, and hopefully we don't shit the bed too hard.
We will. But that's okay. You learn from your mistakes. That's how people learn. If you don't make mistakes, you can't learn, right?
This is for sure, man. This is for real. Yeah.
I think it's we should move up on our gear a little bit too, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe
some headphones and a microphone instead of a laptop.
Yeah. We might look a little bit more legit. We still need a producer too.
We need a what?
A producer.
Oh no, I think that you're the producer.
Exactly. My point exactly.
So real quick, you got more technical skills when it comes to this stuff than I do.
I think very much not. So what do you have going on this week, man?
What did I have going on this week? Just work, man. I just worked.
Your kids are home?
We went and saw, what's the name of them again?
Oh, Simple Minds. You got to see Simple Minds. Yeah.
And that was it. It was a I won't get into the details, but it was an eventful evening. It was a good show, better than I expected. It was nice after seeing Soft Cell to actually see some musicians. So that was cool. Their drummer was pretty badass.
Wasn't she awesome?
Yeah.
Did you get to see the drum solo part?
I did. Yeah.
So that was one of my favorite drum solos I've ever seen live. It was like, what, 5 minutes? Short, tight, compact.
Yeah, she's been with them since 2017. I like to do, unfortunately, I sit there and I do a bunch of research on my phone before the show starts because I need, I've been to so many shows in my lifetime,
Right.
hundreds, and there's just so much downtime in between bands, for bands, and just standing there
Right.
or sitting there kind of sucks. And I wasn't drinking, so it's not like I could
Uh,
just water. And so I did research on both them. And you know what's crazy is their lead singer. He's very limber for a freaking old man.
you saw that shit, right?
He
Dude
was
bends
like,
himself backwards.
he was on backwards. I'm like, I told Becky, I'm like, one of these songs, he's just not going to be able to get back up, and he's just going to keep singing down there, and no one's going to know that he threw his back out because
That shit would have put me in the hospital for a week trying to do that.
he doesn't even look like he could do that. You know what
But
I mean?
he's what? He's 67, right? Did you
I
not
don't know.
sound?
I didn't look up his age, but
I think he's 67. I think we looked it up. Dude, is he not a phenomenal singer? I mean,
yeah, he sounds exactly the same.
dude, he sounds great. And I thought the band was just perfectly pocketed. They were just good, you know.
They've got so many members, though. Oh my god!
Yeah.
I was looking at the list; it was just scrolling for days. I
But
think there's only two original members in there. Him and
Oh, really?
guitarist or something like that.
Well, that guitarist is pretty fucking awesome. When I say in the pocket, that dude is in the fucking pocket. He plays what he needs to play, and he plays it perfectly. So
Yeah, it was decent. And Soft Cell was something else. I felt like, you know what I thought felt like Soft Cell? I felt like, I don't know if you've ever seen Zoolander. You know the party that they're at where Will Ferrell's there with his crazy get up, and you know that's what I feel like they should have been in that scene. That's what they feel like to me, like that weird electronic, I don't know, like space age weird crap.
yeah,
And the singer's voice was, it wasn't that great, but that female singer, his backup singer, ooh, she was freaking pretty damn good.
yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Did they
But,
do
yeah.
the extended? They did the extended version of "Tainted Love" for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. They should have just played that the whole time.
They should have played "Tainted Love" in different types of. They should have remixed it at like 7 different songs, 7 different ways, and just played "Tainted Love."
So there are a lot of people who will swear by Soft Cell, like that's their jam from that period of time. And I remember when we were younger, Christine and I, we would go to a lot of those like 16 and over kind of clubs where you could dance, but they don't sell alcohol. They'd usually have several dance floors and split up. Here'd be hip hop over here, and then here'd be new wave over here. In the new wave area, when they wanted to bring everyone out on the dance floor, they would play Soft Cell, either that song Sex Dwarf or Tainted Love, and it would just pack the dance floor. And so initially I didn't mind them at all. It wasn't until I started like listening to the rest of the album, and then I had a roommate who was a big Mark Allman fan who would play me his solo stuff, which we don't need to talk about again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the crowd was. I could go off another 20 minutes on the crowd alone, but I won't.
Were there a lot of goths there?
No,
No?
it was just a lot of me and you, and a lot of moms getting away from the kids, dancing and drinking, and doing mom dances, and a lot of dudes. I was watching the Tiger game actually, and I'm sure there was quite a few other dudes there doing something similar. Just old dudes with gray hair,
During Soft Cell.
backwards hats, and the moms that are dancing. Looks like they haven't been out in a while.
It's too bad that you missed Modern English because they were actually pretty good. They were
A little late.
yeah.
Doors opened at 7. We got there at like 7:40. Usually it's like an hour from the doors opening, but I guess by the time we got to our seats at it wasn't even 8 o'clock yet. They had already been done, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
And Soft Cell came on, and I'm like, oh, they must be opening. Because I've never go to a show that as soon as the doors open, the band's on like 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later. And then I figured we're all old, so we got to get in and out,
and so's the band. And they're like, "Oh, do we want to
Yeah,
wait?"
they're older than us.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was my week.
Sweet.
So we are going to transition into speaking to Sophie. You know, that's my youngest's middle name. You know that?
Is it really? That's
Sophia.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It means
Yeah.
wisdom.
It means what?
Wisdom.
Ah.
Isn't that funny? Because Sophie is the wisest of our family, of our four. You know, she really is a smart person, like, and contemplative, and she thinks, and, you know, and she remembers. We didn't know that when we chose the name. You know, we didn't know it was going to
Marley
be.
is.
Yeah.
Marley's very, very smart. I say she's going to grow up to be a scientist.
The younger one, think about it. The younger one always has that to look. You get to look at everything that's ahead of you, you know, and you're around people where your siblings are already talking like adultish with other adults, and so
My
the
God,
learning
yes.
curve, you know.
She's 8 and she acts like she's an adult. Um,
Yeah, that's cool.
but yeah, we're gonna talk to her tonight, and yeah.
All
So
right.
let's say I will see you tonight, brother.
All
And
right. Let's say that.
we will have a good conversation. I got some questions that I hope I'm not gonna try to dig too deep. I mean, I do have some questions that she can either answer or not answer. I'll leave that up to her.
She'll answer.
Um, and yeah, we'll go from there.
All right. So next you see us, we're gonna have my daughter. It'll be a slightly different setting. I gotta pack up here now and drive up to Long Beach, and then we'll set up a place and do another 20 minutes. I told Sophie we could drink, so it'll have to be afternoon.
I got a few things to take care of today anyway, so we'll figure it out.
Excellent. All right. So I guess we're gonna be dad religion legit next time y'all see us. And we're back. So everybody, all 30 of our subscribers, I'd like to introduce you to my youngest daughter, Sophia. Sophia, say hi to our 30 subscribers.
Hi.
Jason's going to hit you with a couple of questions, and then we'll just turn it into a little conversation like we normally do. Cool.
All right. Thank you for coming on, and I'd like to congratulate you on graduating. That's awesome. Why don't you tell us what you got a degree in and what you're doing next?
Yeah, okay, so I did psychology, got my bachelor's in that, and now taking a little gap year because I want to get my master's in occupational therapy, but I have some prerequisites I have to take, like anatomy, physiology, stuff like that, at a community college to even like get into that program. But yes, occupational therapy is the goal.
Fuck yeah, that's pretty awesome. Congratulations, dope. I love to see the young people, you know, going out there and kicking ass and hopefully taking over this country from the madness we got going on now. So let me jump right into it. I have a few questions in my notes here. Excuse me. So, your pops. I've known him. How long have we known each other? What, 15 years?
Probably about 15 years, yeah.
15 years, my bread guy. What's your favorite memory of the bread guy next to you?
Ooh, that's hard. Okay, me and my dad got really close, like my whole childhood from him being my soccer coach.
Yeah.
And then once I played soccer for years, but then once I kind of felt like I was over it, he then became very involved in our theater, our musical theater that we would do. So yeah, very involved. I have a lot of memories just like from all of that.
Awesome. How would you describe your relationship with your father?
Awesome. Yeah. I don't know how to like.
Hmm.
Okay, let me think.
Awesome is good.
It's vague though. I understand it's vague, but like, it's definitely like I think we've always gotten along though. Yeah. What would you say?
We spent an awful lot of time sitting out in the audience at Yat, and like just goofing around and stuff.
Yeah.
waiting for your sister to go up on stage and stuff. I think that you and I had more time together because you were always with me, and we would drop Bella off at rehearsal, and then we'd have to go and do something for a while.
Yeah, I was also just like attached, like very attached to both of my parents. So like while my sister like really was ready to like get her independence, that
Oh
was
gosh, yeah.
never really something I needed or wanted
No,
at
that's
all,
right.
which was probably not awesome for them. But like
It
yeah.
was fine. It was fine. You know what's funny, Jason? COVID is what changed it when we all had to move back into the house. And then Sophie kind of looks around. She's like, "Oh, I don't think I want to hang out with y'all as much as I thought I did." Got herself a skateboard, and her and her friends would roll over to the high school and turn the music on real loud and skate around.
Yeah.
Probably
That's
smoke
what
weed.
happens
Yeah.
once they're with you for a certain. I mean, I'm at that spot now with my kids, so yeah.
Yeah. I like
Um,
independent Sophie though. I'm going to be honest. I like independent Sophie because we become homies now. There's really no pressure or anything like that. So
that's awesome. I'm waiting for that face. What is something that your dad has ever said or just like put in your head that sticks with you on a daily basis?
That's easy because my dad thinks I'm the funniest person in the whole universe. Like
awesome.
compared to like anyone else in my life, like and he thinks I'm so funny. And that's like really helped me with my confidence,
That's
I could
cool.
say. It's I tell everyone, I literally am like, my dad thinks I'm so funny, so like you should too.
You crack me up.
Yeah. And I feel like he just like where he gets my jokes and the way I mean them, and so like he thinks it's fun.
I think I probably has something to do with creating that sense of
And
humor.
that's why he likes it. It's because it's similar.
Yes.
Sweet.
Sophie's humor has become dark, and it caught me off guard. Like we weren't really expecting it to happen. Like we had family drama for a while, and then we ended up at my grandma's funeral. And part of the family drama is that we got uninvited to grandma's previous birthday party by some other family members and stuff, right? And so there's a lot of hurt feelings, and we're sitting in the car waiting to pull in line with all the other cars to go drive over to the gravesite. And it's real somber and dark in the car. And Sophie says, out of the blue, she says, "Hey guys, are you sure we're invited to this?" like, just not. It was so funny. It was such gallows humor. I appreciated it very, very much.
Well, I'm on your side. No one gets my humor. It's too dark. They don't like it. They don't think it's funny. But me, I think it's hilarious. And as long as I'm making myself laugh, that's all that matters, I guess. So you're a young woman going into this world that we're in right now. I, in my opinion, you've done the direct opposite of what they want you to do, which is what they want you to do. And by they, I mean the powers that be at this moment, which is pretty badass. I'm a father of two daughters also. What would you tell your younger self, say junior high, to look for moving forward? Like what you've learned from junior high to now.
I think like okay, to my junior high self, I'd tell her that like everything is very temporary because I would get very wound up on like just what was happening in that moment, and it was like end of the world, catastrophe, like this is my life, and like this will be my life forever. And like I just am not even I'm not the same person I was like at that age, and I'm like in such different circumstances where I'm just like, why was I so stressed in the moment? Like I should have just been a kid.
You made yourself suffer a little bit more than you probably needed to.
Yeah,
But you weren't. But
anxiety.
you were not a bad kid or anything, Sophie. You've always been a thoughtful person. You've always been fun to be around. You had moments where you got intense because you were having anxiety, but I think it's cool that you can reflect on that.
Hmm.
Awesome. I have two more questions. Is there one thing that your father does not know about you that you're comfortable talking about?
Ooh,
That's really hard because you know a lot.
it's a lot
Like
of full disclosure over here usually.
he knows most like crazy stories. Okay. Like, are you asking for like just anything? Like anything my dad has
Anything, anything. I mean, anything you're comfortable talking about. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
something you'd be surprised and be like, "Oh, I did not know that."
Did you know I've been kicked out of Disneyland?
Wait a second.
Escorted out and
Wait,
placed on a
did I hear that? Did I hear
24-hour
that story?
ban. I don't know
A
if you did.
24-hour ban. I think I did hear that story, but I don't think I heard it from you.
Who'd you hear it from?
Probably from
Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell that story though.
Okay. So yes, it's a little incriminating, but I was
That's what it is.
I was 19, and some friends bought some drinks with their fake IDs in Margaritaville in California Adventure, and I had one, but I didn't use it. And they saw me with the drink in my hand and asked for my ID, and I convinced them that I was 21, and they were convinced. I'm positive. But they were like, you can't drink without an ID on you. Because I was like, I just don't have it. So they escorted us out and placed us on a 24-hour ban.
Nice. I've been in those.
But then I came back about a month later with my fake ID, got drinks there, and we were chilling the rest of the day.
You ever been banned from Disneyland, Jason?
No, I hate Disneyland, so you can't get me banned from there if I don't go.
Yeah.
No, if with that, I'm gonna tell you this, and this sounds dickish, but Disneyland would be badass without kids.
No, it's true. Or if they were
Like if I
It could be
like no kid zones.
no kids, just me and the wife. That's it. Drinks and eating and rides. No whining, no crying. No, I got to use the bathroom. None of that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, this is my last one. So this is a meme that I'm going to read off to you, and I'm going to read it. Jim knows what it is, I believe. Well, yes, he definitely knows what it is.
I do.
And I just want your perspective on it, okay? Being that, and this is my opinion, we're at a place where, I mean, let's face it, women are under attack. And you being a young woman going into this world, with whatever profession you decide you're going to do with your degree. And this is this was something that was posted on was a post on Facebook, I think.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it was originally posted, I think, by this church pastor guy, and then reposted onto Facebook.
Even worse. Yeah. All right. It says, when women are let loose to do as they please, away from the influence of man, they have not come up with a cornucopia of great inventions and discoveries. Instead, they have aborted tens of millions of infants. This has turned dark. Blamed all their problems on men, voted leftists into office, became excessively promiscuous, gotten worthless college degrees, and demanded equally worthless make-work jobs. Believed that wealth falls like manna from heaven. Come to believe marriage is temporary. Destroyed children's lives through easy divorce and single parenthood, and rationalized every bit of it. And that was said by a man named Bob Wallace. Do you know who that is, Jim?
I looked him up. He's not worth knowing, but he's just one of those misogynistic incel pastor guys who has a small.
He's a pastor. Yeah. All right. So I'm not trying to end it on a very somber, dark note, but I would just like your thoughts on that that quote, on how you feel.
Let me give you just a little bit of context. I've been arguing with a guy on Facebook for about 3 weeks who reposted that from every religious point of view that you can think of. But the point is, you hear all the misogyny in it, right?
Yeah.
Seems like you're the person that's targeted at.
Not audience.
No, you're targeted at.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It doesn't seem as though that squares with your achievements.
No.
Yeah.
No. I think that probably comes from a place of like intimidation that like, I don't know. know.
You mean on the point of the person who wrote that?
Yeah,
initially?
they're intimidated by somehow the entire female like race, like
Yeah.
race of humans, like the whole.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The
Like
whole gender.
the whole entire gender, like they're. So I don't know. Maybe that's the easy way out of like that person not living up to what they
Mm.
like. I don't know, like what they wanted, so they have to blame someone else.
It's funny. Now, we never really raised you with a whole lot of religion, right? This is coming from an exclusively religious place.
Mm-hmm.
Like my history of religion,
Mm.
but in a much older time, like
Mhm.
even before my parents.
Yeah.
So this probably wouldn't be something that would be you would recognize as being religious right off the bat.
Yeah. No.
No.
But
Is it religious though?
I don't know.
Well, it's posted by the pastor. This is really kind of getting into the trad wife and
But it's
the role of the
talking nothing
woman.
about like any kind of like God or spirituality
No,
or
that's
anything.
true.
So how could that possibly have to do with religion when you're just pretty much like
Yeah,
talking down to a
women.
whole group of people
Yeah,
who are like important?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I find it
Awesome.
really weird. And
I find it really weird and odd. That's an excellent answer. I'll
Yeah.
cheers you to that. Weird and odd.
I have one last one. What's your favorite thing about your dad?
It's his bitchin'
Top,
ass
top.
Pride Month shirt that he's got the Millennium Falcon going with the Happy Pride Month, by the way.
my favorite thing about my dad. That's hard. That's really hard.
Like number one, like the thing that you're just like. I know there's plenty, but
There's a lot.
number one that you're like, yeah, that's my dad's pretty badass.
Um. Yeah. He's like, I don't know. I feel like he's like I can come to him with like any like issue in my life and it will be fixed. Like maybe not fixed, but he'll definitely like get my head on straight. Like he knows how to like connect with me in my brain like different than anyone else can. And if I'm going through something or in a weird spot and like I literally can look at him and just be like, what do I do? Like what do I do right now? And he just knows and like gets me through it somehow. Like even when I cannot physically see like a way through something, like he makes it happen, like and makes me see that it's like it can happen.
They're
Nice.
lucky in that way, Jason, because I can kind of do that. And then they've got a mom who has like just an overwhelming sense of emotion and affection. So they get if it's affection that they need, they've got a great source. If it's problem solving that they need, they've got a pretty good source.
Yeah, but I just feel like my dad knows like my brain better than anyone else in the world. Like
For now.
genuinely.
For now.
As of now, like genuinely though.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Hopefully
Nice.
you'll find a dude that's worthy of knowing that brain that way. Maybe you already have. Who knows?
Awesome.
did
Well, great job. Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you being on, and
Great questions.
yeah, that was
Jason.
awesome.
We're getting bona fide. People are going to believe that we're parents because we've shown some evidence of it.
Well, my daughter hasn't came on yet, so we'll see what happens.
How old's your daughter?
She's going into high school next year. I have two. I'm the direct opposite. I have a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Wow, yeah. Crazy ages.
So I have one high school and one third grader.
So that was intense soccer and intense theater time for us
Yeah.
when you guys were that age. But you're separated about the same amount, I think, right? 14, 9, 5 years.
Me and Bella.
About 5 years.
No,
Me and Bella are 3 years.
They're only
It's
3,
too
yeah.
long.
3 years.
it's numbers, and I'm dyslexic.
Numbers are not good for you.
Numbers
Those are two different things though, dyslexia and dyscalculia.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
they're
it?
two
Oh.
different things.
See, this is the degree that was such well spent. I love it. Thank you very much. Dyscalculia. So apparently,
You could have both.
so apparently I
but they
have
are two different
dyscalculia
things.
because I transpose numbers.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I do like that shirt too. It's kind of dope.
Isn't that kind of cool? It won't be this cool after it gets washed another time. It's going to fade really, really fast.
I started buying shirts just for this. I got
So
a
did
few
I,
in the mail. Huh?
I've got a cool one coming up. We're
I
going to have
could've
to.
worn a cool shirt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't tell me.
Well, you're welcome to come back on another time. We'll probably make it like issue specific. Like, is there something we want to talk to you about? Are you available?
Probably. Are you gonna Bella?
Yeah, I would love to. The only problem is with the Bella is her scheduling with the baby. But originally, we were going to try and get her in first, have both of our older daughters. But Bella's hard to pin down, and I was going to see you and be here. So I'm like, we should. This is normally the day that we do it. So that's why I decided to do that. And plus, you just had this big landmark achievement. So Bella's baby is now he's like 4 months old already. It's old news. So
Old news.
I'm gonna call him that.
You have the baby on too.
But he's just a baby.
He's a baby. He's such a chunky little dude. Oh, Jason, it is great being a grandparent. I'm not gonna lie, it's fantastic. It's a lot of cool endorphins from that.
I already look like a grandparent. I don't want to be one yet.
But it's like the fun baby time without the responsibility.
This is so true.
Of all the babies.
Yeah, you get to send them home.
Yeah.
I think it's even more fun being auntie because I just
Probably.
really get a lot of baby and then I can send baby away for a while.
And you can drop a dime on his presents and be the popular one. Like, oh, happy Christmas! Look what I got you.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can give him a box, an empty box right now.
Yeah,
right now, no, the expensive gifts come in a few weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
Start saving.
All right, so should we wrap this segment up?
Let's wrap it up.
All right, we're going to be back again, and with this next segment, it's going to be with Jason's older daughter, Maddy. Thank you so much for coming on, baby. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you,
It was
guys.
great. It was a great conversation.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right, Jay. We're outie.
All right, peace. Welcome back to the Dad Religion Podcast. Today, we have my beautiful daughter, Madeline, here. Yesterday, we had Jim's daughter, Sophie. And today, we're going to talk to Madeline a little bit. She gets to be on the hot seat.
It's not that hot of a seat. Not that hot of a seat. Don't even worry about it, Maddie. How you doing?
Good.
Good. It's good to meet you, finally. I got a couple of questions for you. These are going to be pretty basic, and since we have a couple of common interests, I thought I would stick with music to start off with. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. So I wanted you to just tell me a little bit about the instrument that you've chosen to play. What's it called, and why did you choose that one?
I chose viola because I like that it has like a deeper sound and it's bigger than other instruments.
Yeah. It's like right in between the cello and the violin, right? It's that one in between. It's really interesting. Do you have any plans to learn any other instruments?
If I go to college for it, I'll have to learn some new instruments. So, yeah.
For sure. Excellent. Cool. So how do you practice when you're in between seasons? Do you continue practicing, and do you have like a practice schedule that you go by?
Not really. I just do when I feel like it, which isn't a lot.
Which isn't a lot.
Cool.
That's one of our contentions. Is I want her to practice more, but I mean, when it feels like she doesn't need to practice. Kinda, I don't know why, because she just picks it right back up and it's fine. Yeah. But I think if she practiced more, she'd be a million times better. 1 million.
Sure.
That is an age-old fight between parent and child, whether or not they're going to practice. For Christine, it was the piano. For me, it was the guitar. Yeah, it just happens. It happens. But you know what, though? Find a way to do it and make it be fun. Have it. If it's something fun to do, it'll always draw you back into it. And if it's your schedule, you'll always keep it. So that's pretty cool. Okay, we're going to move on a little bit more. Some serious questions, okay? These ones might get you into a little bit of trouble, so you could balk if you want to. You could say, no, I'm not going there. That's too much smoke for me, all right? So who has better taste in music, your dad or your mom?
I like my mom's music taste more, but he might have better music taste.
Oh, that's an interesting answer. All right. Okay. Who's the funniest person in your household?
Me.
Of course. Obvious. Brilliant answer. All right. What's your dad's favorite band?
Bad Religion.
Sweet. So far, she's getting an A. And here's the last one. This one might get me into trouble with your dad. You know the band The Clash?
No.
Darn! I'm foiled.
Now she's gonna
That
have
was basically.
to- What was
Those
the
are my
question? Whether they're
It
punk
was
rock?
a punk rock band.
What about what is your favorite thing that me and you have together? Like what what is your favorite thing about our relationship and what is your least favorite thing about our relationship?
Oh.
Favorite thing is music. Least favorite thing is you're always playing Fortnite.
Fair enough.
Sweet.
I'm an old man who plays Fortnite.
Yeah, yeah. I feel you on that, though,
Always
Jason.
playing. It's midnight.
Yeah. So, Maddie, what are your plans for the rest of the summer?
I don't know. I might just like sleep all day like I've been doing.
Solid plan. All right. What is your favorite band? What do you like to go and listen to? Like to when you get into music?
What's your favorite band? Like what do you like to listen to? What are your favorite bands? What is your favorite genre? What do you like to listen to?
So my favorite band is like Misfits. My favorite K-pop group is Shikers. Really good. My favorite genre, K-pop.
Really? So, did you say the Misfits are your favorite band?
Yeah.
Sweet. Wow. That's pretty cool. That's good parenting there, Jason.
We try. I force all music on her. All
Is that
music.
true?
Whether she likes it or not, we'll be in the car and I'll make her sit and listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had her listening to. I made her listen to all of Stairway to Heaven.
That's an investment. Yeah. And what'd you
But
think?
it's a great song. I mean, it's overplayed. It's. But if you just break down that song, my God, it's freaking brilliant.
What do you think, Maddie?
It's okay.
It's okay. Too long?
Yeah.
What's your favorite song? Like ever?
I don't know. I have a lot of favorite songs.
Who are you listening to right now that is not K-pop?
That's a good question. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Charlie XCX.
Oh,
Okay.
all right.
All right.
Sweet.
And I have one more question for you. What are you most looking forward to in high school? Because Maddie's going to be in 9th grade next year, starting high school. And
Awesome.
what is the least thing you're looking forward to in high school?
Looking forward to orchestra, obviously. And I'm not looking forward to walking around that building. It's so big. Like, I'm going to get lost so many times.
Yesterday we were watching this video on the biggest high school in America. It's what's it called?
Allen, Texas.
Allen, Texas. It's up near Dallas. This place is has a Taco Bell, no, a Subway. Has 9 restaurants in it. Let's put it that way. Has 9 restaurants in it. It has a full has a bank in it. Number 1, number 2. So you can get the kids can get bank accounts and start learning how to save money. And for every A, they give them like $25 in their bank account. For every B, they give them like $10 or $5. They have a football stadium that is bigger than most college stadiums. If it fits 28,000 people, they have like, I swear to God, how many workout rooms did they say? Like 11. They have 12 gyms total. 11
How many
workout rooms.
students?
Huh? 8,000.
8,000 students.
Yeah. Literally, they have a full-on news, like a
Like
newsroom.
Fox.
It's like, it looks like Fox News in there, like professional cameras. They have like jewelry making, and then they have jewelry stores where you can buy stuff. It's wild, dude. They had a Subway, a KFC, a freaking what was the
Panda Express.
Panda Express. Like they
That's
have a
nuts.
full culinary department where they have a full restaurant, like culinary school.
We barely had a cafeteria, man.
Yeah, I was like, what is this, dude? It's
Crazy.
bigger than most college campuses.
Mm.
It was wild. It was wild. I would have liked to go on there.
Oh, that's crazy. What about your school, Maddie? Why is it big? You said it was a big building.
Yeah. It was like 4 separate buildings, I think. Or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably twice as big as their junior high, I'd say.
Mm.
So,
So, but you're ready to do orchestra, though, yeah? You've auditioned and everything. That's going to be cool. You're going in with a running start. That's pretty awesome. I didn't actually start playing an instrument until I was a freshman in high school. You've got years over me. That's really cool. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like having a place to go and hang out because you're gonna have people with common interests, and it's really cool to be good at something. And I've heard you're pretty good. If you didn't know already.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for sharing your time with us. We really appreciate it.
thank you, baby. Love you.
All right, Madeline. Take care. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was cool having our kids on.
You and I are in such different stages. It's just so rad. It's
Yeah.
cool.
We're in completely opposite stages.
Yeah, like Sophie is like very affectionate towards me right now. She was not at the age that Maddie is. You know
She's
what I'm
not.
saying? Like,
You see, I had to force a kiss on the forehead.
wow, that's good. That's good. That's how it should be at that age. Don't worry, man. They come back and it's great. You know, I think you're doing a great job, my brother.
I appreciate it. So are you.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, thank you very much, man. Appreciate that.
I hope she wasn't offended by any of my questions or anything like
No,
that.
no. She was. The funny thing is, Sophie was nervous too before starting off. But I think, and Maddie was fine. She answered her questions just fine. So, you know, that's cool, man. That's cool. So, what's your plan for the rest of the week?
I think we're gonna go to the ice cream museum here in Austin. Take the girls down there. It's
Nice.
closing down after like 30 years, so I think July 20th is like its last day. So I've never been there, but I'm pretty sure you just go there and eat ice cream. How about you?
I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, just like a recheck on my blood pressure and stuff like that. This
is where everyone shuts it off. This is where everyone.
I could start complaining about my hip. It's pretty bad. Hey, our dude John Underhill, right?
Yeah.
He's almost in Palm Springs now.
Yeah, I saw that, man.
He's going to be in supposedly in Venice Beach in 6 days. That's pretty cool.
I don't know if we talked. Cool. Did we talk about this on the last part of Sophie's, where I said maybe wouldn't it be crazy if he's getting a ride?
Oh yeah, maybe. That would be crazy.
I don't know if he did or not. There's gonna be a lot of editing in this episode.
I think he's got a couple of rides that he didn't want to get, you know, but the sirens came on and they said, "You need to get in the back, and we're going to take you off this road."
So, that Colorado thing. So
crazy.
Jason. We had someone with a flamethrower. Is that what you said? I haven't had a chance to look into it. Tell me about it.
I heard most of it on Breaking Points today when they broke it down pretty well. But it sounds like he had some sort of makeshift incendiary devices / Molotov cocktails. But the videos from the way they described it are horrific, like people on fire and shit. And I think someone has died now. But
there's deaths.
The guy has been he's been charged with murder, so I'm assuming either yes, someone there on the scene died, or he committed a murder before he went there. I'm not, I don't know.
Yeah, I've been staying away from the news. I haven't heard anything or seen anything on that. But these anti-Jewish people are getting a little out of control too.
I got
Both
more bad
sides.
news for you, Jason. There's something else terrible that happened that you probably want to mix into the equation before, because this is also awful. Seems like that the Israeli army are using food to draw people in to open fire on them.
No fucking way,
dude. It's like
okay. So this is real.
They talked about it on Breaking Points today. You should probably listen to the whole episode. But yeah, there was other. I've seen other reporting on that as well. It's I mean, of course, Netanyahu and the Israeli government deny that that's what they're doing, and that there was other reasons why people open fire. But you have like video evidence and showing people in like it's like, first of all, it's like a free for all, right? They open up the doors or whatever, and people just come flying in to get whatever food the Israeli defense, whatever the IDF, is that what they're called? Whatever
Yes.
they're doling out, or whatever it is, right? And in the chaos, they start opening fire. I don't know. Maybe they weren't using it to draw people in to kill them, but they're starving people and then shooting at them when they come and get food. So that's where we are on that, dude. So more and more terrible on all sides. Everything that's going on is just becoming absolutely horrific.
Someone needs to do something. If it's not the U.S., where's all our used to allies? Where's England? Where's Germany? Where's France? Where's all these other countries? Why is this being allowed?
I don't know. They're using U.S. weapons to do it, Jason. I mean,
I know. Well, I'm sure they're using U.S. and other countries. We're not the only people giving them weapons. But yes, we are giving them money and weapons. We need to stop giving them weapons. They need to pull any support we have for them until this stops. Netanyahu's a madman. But it's like, where do you got these people who are so pro-Israel, which fine, but where do you draw the line? Like we talked about a few back, like there was October 7th. That's been 2 years. Where do you draw the line when you've had enough revenge, or is there never enough revenge? Like
it's beyond an eye for an eye at this point.
It is. So is it there's never you won't be happy until everyone's eradicated, and that is wild.
But here's another sad addition to these events. One of the victims in Colorado, Holocaust survivor.
Isn't it ironic? So that person had to have been quite old.
They were quite old, and they had been in part of the Holocaust when they were quite young. Yeah, but yeah. And all they were protesting was the holding of hostages. That's it. People are going mad, bro, and they're getting crazy with their methods. I mean, what a horrific thing to try and do, to burn people alive.
What was the make and model of the dude who did it?
I'm not sure. I think they. Oh wait, no, I did hear Egyptian national, and he shouted out "Free Palestine."
And it happened in Denver.
Yeah. In Boulder, Colorado. Now I did hear a couple people report. I think actually it might have been the co-host next to Crystal on Breaking Points, whose name I can't remember right now, but I think she might have mentioned that the dude did not look like he was right. Like he looked like he was he had his shirt off. He was acting crazy. But that doesn't excuse anything at all. I mean, if a crazy person starts being racist and genocidal, then
I don't think there's no stop to this. You know what I mean? I don't see a solution, because all my solutions would not fly. It's good, It's I was listening to uh, that Hamas wanted the ceasefire and everything, but Netanyahu, he said he would agree to cease. He would never. What's the word he said? He would never actually take the ceasefire seriously.
Hmm.
He
Yeah.
would always break the ceasefire, no matter what.
I
And
had
he
heard
said
that part
this
of
to
the
a bunch of people
yeah,
in some sort of I don't know what if it
yeah.
was a meeting or whatnot, but
Yeah, so I mean, there's a theory that all along Netanyahu doesn't want Hamas out because he needs them as a credible enemy on the other side to allow him to keep a military action, because the people inside Israel are always going to be afraid of Hamas, and what they could do. And by the way, what Hamas pulled off in October was still, I mean, even though they caught Netanyahu with his pants down, they still, it was a pretty sophisticated kind of an attack, like this new kind. Like, did you hear about what the Ukrainians did to the Russians? Like, I think it was in the last day or two. Did you hear about this at all?
nope, have not been. I've been off all news, so
They launched a drone attack inside Russia that went all the way up to Siberia and knocked out like 41 of their airplanes. They possibly shipped these drones in containers, in civilian containers, like just right through the regular, like the truck drivers who were driving the trucks that had these drones in them didn't know what the hell they had in the back of their truck. And the Ukrainians were able to open the trunks and set the drones out without the truck drivers even knowing about it. I'm sure they knew about it once they saw this shit flying out the back of their truck, but they didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like, these things that were locked, these cases that were locked, were able to unlock, and these little drones came flying out and went and hit all of these aircraft that were like just parked on the tarmac in these different places, like a broad area, like over 3,000 miles. That's crazy.
that's
It's
some
a
double oh
crazy,
007 shit right there.
it's like a crazy, like lo-fi, like discounted type of espionage, because that was cheap as fuck, man. That was cheap to do, just like what the Israelis did with those pagers, right? Cheap, 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 just like what Osama bin Laden did to us with those airplanes. Like, this is a new type of warfare, and it's going to make military giants like us and China and Russia, like we're going to spend $1 trillion on the military this next year, right? $1 trillion, and people can kick our butts with like little teeny drones, and
Well, that's where
you know,
intelligence comes in. If our
for
intelligence
sure,
team is
for
on
sure.
top of it, I know we're at the end of this podcast, but I have a
Yeah.
question. A thing I've been thinking about lately. Now, as we go through time, we've had all these different. I've been watching America in Color, so it's a series. I don't think it's a Ken Burns series, but it's great. It goes through the early 1900s, the 1920s, 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and I've been watching it all. And there's always been something that is just absolutely horrible going on at all times, literally at all times. Whether
Mhm.
it's the Great Depression, whether it's the stock market falling, whether it's World War II, World War One, the Vietnam War, um, World War II with the Japanese Americans being put in camps, and whether it's segregation or Jim Crow or hangings or beatings, it's always been there. Like it's there's never been a time, except for maybe the 90s, that has been like not just full of just anxiety and just like freaking out. Social media come If social media wasn't around right now, would we know about what's going on in the world? It would take days to get to us. You know what I mean? Media, I think, I know, fans the flame to everything. Uh, Social media makes people anxious. Times are bad right now. Times are really bad. But Is it much worse because of social media?
Seems. I mean,
You're given a platform, Truth Social, X, Facebook, Instagram, but if they didn't have that platform, would we be as anxious right now? My answer is no. People wouldn't know. There wouldn't be so much rage. People, it would obviously be there once it hit home to you, but for as long, you know what I mean? Would you be worrying about this shit ahead of time, not when it just hits you? I've people will say I'm crazy, but I think, like I've told you, this is just a passage in this country. This country is very young. What are we, 200? How many? 260 years old? Very freaking young. And I think that we're just going through a time, and it's just being exasperated by social media, making it that much worse. Because social media is what, 20 years old?
yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing.
My buddy Andrew, I went to the Simple Minds concert with him a few days ago. We had a very similar conversation to this. He was a history major in college, and what he does now is he writes curriculums for history programs for teachers to use in schools. And he's a dude that I like to talk to about history with. And what Andrew pointed out, to your point that you just made, is that we're a very, very, very young country, and we're a country that was built on a handful of things that we can't exactly ignore. Things like slavery, things like genocide. 250 years ago, it's not that long. And my friend Andrew's point is, we do not have enough separation yet from some of these horrific things that have happened in the past for us to figure out what is right and what is wrong. And because there's so many different kinds of us Americans together trying to figure all this out at the same time, how to be our own individual things, how to live up to our ideals. The ideals are what you have written in the Declaration of Independence. I don't know if you know this, but that's our argument as to why we have the right to exist. That's here's our claim. We think that we should be able to exist as our own country. We can govern ourselves. We don't need a king. Here's our reasons, right? And then when they wrote the Constitution, it's supposed to be with the Declaration of Independence as that undergirding for the rationale for why we have these certain laws and these certain governments created the way that it is, right? The ideals, I'm not exactly sure how they got in there the way that they did, Jason, because they do not reflect necessarily the people that wrote them. And so there were some terrible people. There were some people who did wonderful things that did transcendent things you wouldn't imagine. This whole idea of a democracy was really just being made up on the fly right back there and then. But the people who have been in charge of trying to make that happen for most of our history have not been very good people. We've been very lucky. It's been the system. It really is that accidental thing that happened when these people all came together and they wrote this document. They wrote these documents that were beyond them, kind of like the people who wrote the Bible in some places, if you don't mind my circling back on that. But you get what I'm saying? Sometimes people intersect in history in ways that their own skills and their own intelligence and their own abilities don't really justify. It's just one of those intersections of time and space and need and emotion and group emotion. And that's what happened then. And I think that you're right. There was a brief time during the 90s where it felt like we were at least moving in the right way. There was not as much institutional racism, at least on the books. We were getting all that shit out of there. There was a lot of institutionalized cultural racism and generational racism that was still in our country. But our art and stuff was starting to reflect that we weren't down for that shit. The music was starting to reflect that we're not down for that shit. The movies, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I 100% get what you're saying. The 90s were a different time.
And then 9/11 happened. I think about this all the time. I'm probably one of the only people who read the 9/11 Commission report. I think it should be an essential read, really, at least the first 150 pages or so when they talk about the details of what happened that day. But part of what's in the 9/11 Commission report, they talk about the fatwa that Osama bin Laden wrote long before they ever attacked, and basically the whole idea was to turn America against itself and
it looks like
force.
he's done that.
Doesn't it seem that way? The thing is, it's the same game plan that Hamas plays. And what does Netanyahu do? Like everyone always, it's like watching like Police Academy. Do you remember that movie Police Academy, when they have like all the terrorists sitting around the table and they're like trying to go over plans? All these terrorists are coming up with these crazy ideas about how to do these things, and they're pulling them off. And then what do countries like us do? We go and we pound Iraq into dirt, and basically send their whole country back into the Stone Age. I mean, their leader was an asshole. I don't think anyone will ever disagree with that, but the people of that country certainly did not deserve to go through what they just went through, on account of the fact that this other asshole over here in a cave in the desert convinced some people to fly some airplanes into our buildings. I mean, you know what I always think about? You remember Lennox Lewis, Hasim Rahman, that fight?
Yeah,
Rahman
I do.
Caught him with a lucky punch and put him down. Lennox Lewis go home and then start trying to kick everybody else's ass because he lost a fight? Or did he go home and train for the next fight and go to the next fight and remember to keep his fucking guard up and then knock the dude out like he should have in the first place? Why can't we be smart? I don't understand that.
I will say this. I don't think Osama bin Laden is the one that put us against each other. I think our commander-in-chief right now started that when he brought up Obama's birth certificate. Starting from there on. Now, I don't want to get too political here. The presidents used to get along. People got along. And ever since 2015, 2016, it hasn't been like that. Our current POTUS has kind of flamed that fire. I can't get too much into this because if I do, I'm going to get in the weeds. And it's a tall weed. Maybe we'll save that for another show. But what I'm trying to get at it is I really think that this is a phase that this country's going through. I think this is just a dark phase in the country. That's my opinion. We'll see if I'm right or wrong in about 18 months or so. I have a feeling that things are going to go a little bit sour for one side, and we will back, because I don't think a government needs to be ran by one political side. It should never happen. There should never have been total control by one side. It shouldn't happen.
It should never have been a volley like that. It shouldn't be one side or the other gets their way. There should be compromise. Really, find a way.
But obviously, we're not in those times. But one political party shouldn't control the whole government either, no matter what. Doesn't matter.
You should at least have one. You should at least have one check in place. There should be something, and it's I agree with you. I don't think that'd be good to one party. The only thing is, you just need to have a faithful opposition on the other side that's also interested in doing what's right for the country.
True.
Not just
because you'll never get anything through no matter what. So you got to have people with open ears, dude, and should vote on what's right. But I am not a politician, and
thank God.
Nor would I ever want to be.
Nope.
But I think we're good. I think that's it for the day.
Sounds good, man. It's gonna be a long episode.
About my rant at the end, it kind of went away from what we were trying to do with this episode.
We were talking about arthritis for a minute, bro. We're gonna cut out all that stuff about my hip, and we're gonna go right into the rant and the diatribe.
Man, yeah. Can you make me a baby as I rant?
I don't know. I've been trying to find that I've been trying to find that app or not the app, the capability. That'd be funny though. If I can, I will.
But I want to thank all 31 of you who are subscribed, and all 6 of you that may listen, and all 4 of you that may listen halfway through, and maybe the 1 or 2 of you that may get 3/4 of the way through. We appreciate it. There you go. Pops, we appreciate you. We love you. And oh yeah, and all the dogs and cats that were not eaten in Springfield, Ohio,
Oh, yeah,
by the
that's
Haitian
good.
immigrants. We thank you too. Stay safe out there. They're out there eating the dogs and the cats.
Oh,
All
all right,
right,
y'all.
guys. Peace.
See you.